Hello, hello, hello. I am Nikole and welcome back to the channel. We are back to get into 25 singles, albums, and moments of the year. So let's run it back on 2022. This year, some people were right at home and making their albums, and others had us asking some questions. Now, we already got into Drake's confusing Honestly Nevermind project, but one of the stickout tracks from the project was Sticky. Now, we already did the video. Y'all know that was one of my favorite songs. He eventually released it as a single, and it took over radio and TikTok. So, Drake, I'm gonna leave him alone. I think Drake will always have a soft spot in my heart because from the debut project, honestly, all the way up until Views, I was like, yes, this is my favorite rapper. Not so much no more. Just other rappers have kind of taken that spot for me as I've matured, as I've changed and had things to, consider. He just don't be getting like that for me no more. But I can't take away the fact that he does make great music. Honestly, Nevermind, though I was confused why it came from Drake, was a great produced house dance album. I just think I wanted more from the context of the album. But as I said, we already talked about that. Drake is clearly in a space where he just wants to have fun. So I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to give him some slack. He's had at least about a 15-year career. So at this point, you should be wanting to have a little fun. Maybe I was a little harsh with Honestly Nevermind, but I do not change anything I said about him needing therapy and it being bouncer music. Because, the topics of this whole album sound like the diary of a club bouncer to me. On the other hand, Lucky Daye was right at home solidifying himself with his sophomore album, Candy Drip. Now, this album, to me, was a mix of early 2000s classic R&B and neo-soul with some of the modern undertones of the production. He even sprinkled in some, Erykah Badu's poetry. But it was ironically nice little break in the music. Some of my favorites from the album were Touch Somebody, which honestly reminded me a lot of Frank Ocean and Used to Be. I feel like this is one of the modern day classic R&B albums that people are going to continue to revisit. I don't think, Lucky Daye has a large fan base, but it's absolutely not as big as it could be. I think as he continues to progress, he's probably going to eventually be the go-to guy in R&B, because I feel like right now, besides Chris Brown, obviously, the go-to guy for R&B is Giveon, which we will also get into Giveon later on. But I just think that Lucky Daye, first of all, the man sounds good. His live performances always hit. So, yeah, I definitely want to see him attain a larger audience. And this being his sophomore album and a good sophomore album, definitely going to happen for him. Now, both Drake and Lucky Daye were unfortunately missing from the Grammys 2023 nominations. Drake's was by choice, him selecting to remove himself from being submitted to be nominated. Lucky Daye, not the story. The Grammys, I think they're going to continue to try and get it right, but I'm starting to think this is a space where you're just not going to please everybody. Looking at the nominations this year, there are 10 albums in the Album of the Year category. How the hell is somebody supposed to vote based off the 10 albums? I understand casting a broader net so that people aren't so upset by the nominations, but in casting that broader net, you're still kind of depleting the weight of the award. And I know you guys have added new categories, there's now an Afrobeat category instead of everything just kind of being coupled into international. Those type of changes should be happening, obviously, as music changes, as more artists begin to branch out and try new things and try new sounds. But I just don't know if the Recording Academy is going to be able to please everybody. But it also lends to the conversation of them maybe being out of touch with the culture. The Grammy nominations and the Grammy Awards come from the Recording Academy voting. As we talked about in the Grammy video, the Recording Academy is made up of industry executives, everybody from top label chairs, PR professionals, radio personalities, and the artists themselves. And as much music that is put out every year, I get it, it's difficult. But I think there are a few clear oversights when it comes to the Grammy nominations. Like Summer Walker, both Over It and Still Over It, took over the charts, was all over radio, and honestly, both of them were very solid R&B projects. How are they missing from the nominations? I don't know. There could be a balance of not being able to please everybody, and y'all absolutely could be out of touch. So, I don't know. Maybe y'all still should take it back to the board. I don't know. And you guys are progressively making changes. So I'm going to continue to give y'all grace. I don't want to completely diminish the weight of the Grammys and what that award means, especially when we have artists like Beyonce being able to make history and open up doors for other artists of color, especially women of color. So I don't know. Maybe y'all will eventually figure it out and things will balance out, especially as music and technology changes. But yeah, we'll see if y'all ever get it together. That's a wrap on this episode. You guys, we did not get a chance to really dig into Lucky Daye's sophomore project, Candy Drip. We didn't get to do a game plan, so I absolutely want to hear what some of you guys' favorite tracks were from the project. And also, y'all know we're going to come back next year with Run the Show for the Grammys, and we'll see how the awards go. But who do you guys want to see win at the 2023 Grammys? And y'all already know what to do. Here on YouTube, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next drop. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. You still hear her? She made sure that the promotion she was doing really matched the flow of the album. It was a cappella moments, which people were not expecting from her. I honestly think she fumbled her comeback moment because the collaborations were cool, but I really have not been in love with anything coming from Nicki lately.